With me today is Representative John Bartlett of Indianapolis. And John, you're going to talk about a gentleman who influenced you and thousands of others in the city, Mr. Benjamin Johnson.
That's correct.
Can you tell us about it?
Mr. Ben Johnson was my junior high school science teacher. Ben made a lot of difference in a lot of lives. He lived in the neighborhood, he taught school in the neighborhood, and often we'd be walking back and forth to school, and as kids will do, we'd be getting into fights and whatever, but someone would holler, "Here comes Mr. Johnson," and the fight was over. Mr. Johnson, I think, had probably one of the quickest yardsticks in the state of Indiana, but he would say, because as he taught, he would walk, and of course they had aisles for the desk, and as they would walk between the different aisles, they would he would say to you, "Bartlett, quit talking," and he would get past you, and you know that he didn't see you, but yet he would go down that aisle and he'd get pop, 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 pop with that yardstick, and but you knew that Mr. Johnson would get you, but he cared about you. He cared about the students. Mr. Johnson graduated from Crispus Attucks High School in 1948. Mr. Johnson was the first African American to graduate from Butler with a degree and specialist in education. And he was one of 5 African American principals when he was principal at Shortridge. I think one of the first in the state of Marion County. But I stay in contact with Mr. Benjamin Johnson yet today. And I graduated from School 37, where I had him as a teacher in 1962. So he's getting up in age now, but he really made a lot of difference in a lot of lives. Yeah, and I think Mr. Johnson felt like education was the key. And that's one of the reasons why he did not accept failure amongst us. Always do your best. Always do your best. And I had Mr. Johnson from 60 to 62, 1960 to 1962. And I can yet remember him telling us about Newton's law, about Sigmund Freud, about how when light shines in a triangle object and the premise that comes from it, it's just things that he taught us that I still remember. You know, and I just have the utmost respect for him and his wife Bobby.
You yourself have made a difference in the UAW and here at the legislature. What lessons do you feel that he's imparted to you that you renew on a daily basis?
Well, Mr. Johnson, failure was not an option. And that's the way I feel today. As you know, Jeff, I've been with the seat belts for 3-4 years now. And I haven't failed, I just have not got it done. So I will continue to work on that until I get it done, or for my legislative life.